Welcome to Cooking with Bobbi Jo. For those new to my channel, my name is Chastity and Bobbi Jo is one of my dogs. Every Monday I have a bird related video. I call these episodes the Lake Hills City Birds. Every Wednesday I post a cooking video. On today's episode of the Lake Hills City Birds, I'm going to show you a simple bird bath I made for my ground birds. Now, as y'all can see, my garden needs weeding. My black-eyed Susans are starting to go to seed. If you have a garden full of flowers, when they die, don't cut them down. Let them stay because the birds love those seeds. If you can't stand the dead flowers and you must cut them down, at least save the seeds for the birds and also save some for planting more next season. I have nothing planted here, so I think this is where I'm going to set up my new bird bath. I'm going to clean up this area some. These tall stems are from my lilies. These get taller than my fence and they have big beautiful flowers on them in the late spring. I'll see if I can find some pictures to stick in here. I'll leave the stems usually until they start to turn brown. While they're still green, they continue to feed the bulbs. This helps build up nutrients for next season's flowers. Some of these are turning brown at the bottom now. If you cut your lilies and irises down after the flowers die, and then you have issues with them flowering the next season, that's probably why. You need to leave the green stems until they turn brown, or at least wait until the fall. I grow these tall lilies against my fence in the backyard and also against my lamp post in the front yard. That way I have something to tie them to keep them straight as they get taller. With it being September already, it is close enough to the time where they're going to start turning brown. So I'm going to go ahead and cut them, leaving a few inches of the stem at the bottom. I started out with 4 lily bulbs and they have multiplied over the years. So every couple of years I dig up the bulbs and I separate them. And I will try to remember to do a video on that the next time I do it. So I have this very large plant tray that's going to be a bird bath. I won't be filling this all the way up with water. I actually ordered the wrong one. I meant to order a smaller one, but I must have clicked the largest one they had instead of the size I wanted when I ordered it. I also have some rocks, but I'm going to have to get some more because I don't think I have enough to do what I had planned. This would be easier if I had something to mark a circle around the tray, but I really don't feel like going back inside and trying to find something, so I'm just going to outline it in the dirt with my shovel. And I'm going to dig a hole for the tray to fit down in. Then I'm going to put rocks around it. I'm going to leave it like this for now to see if it attracts any birds. Now, let me set up my hay bales and flowers. So I planted 2 mums, one's yellow, one's purple. I have a couple of hay bales behind that, a small pumpkin, a welcome sign. I have a pumpkin tray to place some bird seed in, and also a blessed sign. I may have to move my turtle that's in front of the blessed sign. The birds usually don't like him that much. I put a rock, a brick, and my solar fountain down in the bath, so I'll let you know if I have any success getting birds in this bath. Okay, so it takes a while for birds to get used to new baths and feeders in my garden, but I waited 2 weeks with no luck. I removed the signs, I added a variety of seeds and nuts, but no luck. I decided it was probably the location because they're always feeding under the trees and closer to the end of the garden. So I moved it to the end of the garden. I also added more rock, and I wanted larger rocks, but this is all I have so far. I took the solar fountain out because this is always shaded, so it's not going to get enough sun to actually have a fountain. There are several birds that feed on the ground. In my backyard, I have sparrows, eastern towhees, mourning doves, cardinals, brown thrashers. I'm trying to think what else we have. Oh, I also see robins ground feeding for worms. But most of these birds I can see eating seed on the ground that has fallen from the feeders above. To protect your ground feeding birds from hawks, it's helpful to have some sort of cover like a large patio umbrella where the hawks can't see them from above, and also they don't have a direct attack path. We also have a lot of tree cover at this end of the garden, and we still have leaves, although they are starting to fall. I'm also eventually going to put up a fence like I have around my veggies to make this a little more difficult for predators to get to the birds as they're enjoying their ground area in the garden. The birds have plenty of places to escape to should they feel threatened in this area. I left the mums where they were because they were already established and beautiful. After I moved this bath, it only took about an hour before the birds were enjoying their new area, so it was definitely the location. This week's featured bird is the brown thrasher, and these birds sneak to this side of the fence and they take a peanut like they're guilty of something, and they quickly fly away with it. They live in the trees and bushes on the other side of our backyard, between our house and the neighbor's house. To find out more about brown thrashers, check out my webpage. I will leave a link in the video description along with a link for the plant tray used to make this bath. I could probably put it a little deeper in the ground, but I like it this way because it's easy to clean and change the water. I'm going to be quiet now and leave you to the birds, but thanks so much for stopping by, and y'all have a very blessed week.